It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good!
You're now in the House of Blazers.
Aldridge off the feed from Lillard. Blake, another good shake. And he hits the three.
Featuring Coach Josh. Laser Chad.
On the inside. Flashback.
Dr. Wheels.
Aldridge faces up and knocks one down.
And the beer.
Lillard, three. And the Blazers lead by 4.
Welcome to the house.
With 2.7 seconds, ties the game. You gotta be kidding.
Matthews curling. Matthews tough angle.
Live from Blairally Vintage Arcade.
Hold on to your chairs, folks. Here they are.
Welcome to the House of Blazers. Welcome to the House of Blazers. We just finished a live win over triple overtime.
It was a triple overtime win against the San Antonio Spurs.
In San Antonio.
The champs.
In San Antonio.
Yeah, that's in their house. You know, it's amazing how at the end of this game that we just watched live here at Blairally Vintage Arcade for House of Blazers, how amazing the Spurs fell apart. How rare is it that we see the wheels come off the wagon for the San Antonio Spurs?
I think the rarest part of that was how we were down 6 in the first
and second
overtime. Yes, down 6 with like a minute and a half. Came back to tie it both times. Desperation threes, if you want to call it.
That's Lillard right there. Lillard brought us back in that first and second overtime right there.
Brought me the money. That's all I
got.
got.
Lillard had 43 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds.
Career high for Damian Lillard in points tonight.
43 points. But LA, 32 and 17.
That's not bad. That's
LA
not
hit
bad.
a little record tonight. He just surpassed Jerome Kersey for block shots as a Trailblazer. So LaMarcus Aldridge is on his path for Mr. Trailblazer, emeritus, if you really think about it. He's already surpassing guys like Terry Porter, Jerome Kersey, Maurice Lucas, and, you know, hey, we got to give props to old T-Rob.
Who's left, though?
He
Who's
got
left
15
on that
and
list?
Well, Clyde Drexler. I don't even want to talk about that.
That's the only person left on that list for him.
Old T-Rob got his 15 and 15 in his first start. Is that a fluke for T-Rob, or does he deserve credit for that?
Well, what did he do tonight? Tell me what he did tonight.
I feel he's just so hungry. T-Rob only had 2 points.
How many rebounds?
He had 5 rebounds.
How many minutes?
Which is great. Not sure I'm on the minutes point, but my biggest disappointment is Kaman had 6 and 5.
You know, Kaman is
he
the
only
kind
played
of guy.
18 minutes, though. He didn't
We
play a
need
lot
more
of time.
out of him.
No, you're not going to get more out of Kaman. You know that when he signed the contract with the Portland Trailblazers, it probably has stipulations such as, I will not play more than 30 minutes. I will not be a starter. Kaman's got an ideal situation. He's in the twilight of his career.
But we have the injury of Sideshow Bob.
Injury, sminjury. That means guys like Myers Leonard, T-Rob, and our other bigs have to come into play. God save the Queen.
Joel Freeland, 8 and 5. 8 and 5.
I think for Kaman to produce what he's been producing, he needs to limit his minutes to be able to do it the whole season. So
Absolutely.
He knows that he can't play starter minutes. He needs to come in and play 20 minutes a game and go balls out for 20 minutes a game, and he'll be fine.
But when you got a triple overtime game and you got foul trouble coming in,
Triple overtime game, you're supposed to
that?
rely on your bench.
Our biggest foul contributor was Steve Blake had 5. Freeland had 4. That's it. Everybody else had 2 and 3.
Triple overtime is what you pay your starters for. This is when it counts. Triple overtime is to put the hot hands in the game, and that's your starters. And that's who played the most minutes in the fourth quarter.
I'm gonna give one. We really wanted Big John to be on the mic because he's the only. When I say the only, I want to say the one and only Spurs fan I've ever met in my life. Happens to be my best friend.
Notice he wasn't here.
He wanted to stay, but he couldn't do it.
No, we love Big John.
I'm gonna give him one little stat. It was Timmy Duncan. Was 32 and 11.
That's not bad. Not a lot of rebounds.
That's triple overtime.
Hey,
how many fouls? 3.
If we had Tim Duncan in Blazer red and black, would we not be extolling the virtues right now, the consistency
we would have
and the beast mode that Tim Duncan is?
And I want to say we've had this conversation about Shaq. If Shaq was a Blazer, we would buy his underwear.
Oh, I'd be wearing the jersey, wearing the underwear, wearing the lip gloss,
I love
and
Shaq.
beating my girlfriend just like Shaq.
I would love Shaq. We would love Shaq. We would love, just like when we had Steve Francis for like a 3-day trading period. We're like, I want a Steve Francis jersey.
I remember when Steve Francis was a Blazer. I was like, Stevie franchise, let's go.
You guys are fools.
Yeah, I guess
Why
we
Steve
were.
Francis was a chump.
He was
I
a
liked
chump.
He was a salary dump. It was just to get rid of freaking Zach Randolph.
You feel like
Channing Frye
speaking
was a
of-
steal of the deal on that trade.
Speaking
We
of Zach
didn't-
Randolph, he's actually kind of been balling out.
well,
signing.
Zach Randolph is a stud. He's playing for the Grizzlies. They're beating people. They're beating people like real teams in the West. And the West is just getting more loaded and loaded. Look at Rajon Rondo coming over to the West now. Is that
Dallas.
not illegal? Should we not start a petition that says no more stars are allowed in the West?
Should we just make it a two-hole? We have West basketball, East basketball. Nobody plays each other. We just play the West. We're better than you guys.
The Western Conference Championship would be the equalizer in that sort of arrangement.
And now that Dallas picked up Rondo for nothing,
Nothing.
Pretty much
some
nothing.
some draft picks.
Not even any real draft.
What does
Like a
that mean
first
for
round-
us, Coach? What does that mean for us?
That means I don't really know what it means for us.
Well,
It
you're the
means that
coach.
We got to do something. We got to try to make some kind of trade to bring us some more
Because
quality
Rondo,
talent.
but he has to learn a whole new offense and new players. He's-
Rondo is Rondo. Those players will have to learn to play with him. Dallas needs Rondo. And you know what? I think Dallas looks better with a great point guard like Rondo. I think it looks worse for teams like the Portland Trailblazers. That just means the West gets richer with talent while we are reaching the apex of our career. We are reaching our championship window, I dare I say.
Wow.
Are we not reaching our championship window? How long
It's
are you going
close.
to keep
It's
LaMarcus?
close.
How long are you going to ride on his back and hope for
Forever.
him?
As long as it
Forever.
takes. As long as his back will
Look
hold
at
up.
Tim Duncan. How old is he? And
He's been in the league like 20 years almost.
I know
97.
He's been in the
Oh.
league a long time. I don't want LaMarcus being that guy ringless. Timmy
Oh,
D
well,
has
certain.
rings for every finger on his right hand. For that weak-ass little flip shot that he has, he's got a ring for every finger on it.
Good for him.
I don't want LaMarcus to be that guy with no rings on that fucking shot.
I think we got a ring in the future. It might not be this year, it might not be next year, but
no, I want to.
he's going to sign a huge deal with us next year.
We've got the potential for a ring in our team.
We have to sign $60 million worth of players in the next 2 years.
know, that's horrible.
$60 million
But with
worth
that
of
Brandon
play. That
Roy,
includes Brandon, Robin, LaMarcus, Wesley. That includes some real people on our team.
I don't know
We're
why
gonna
you're
get rid of
worried
some
about
folks.
that, because the salary cap is going to expand within a year and a half.
By 17, 20 million.
if that.
20,
We're going to
it's
spend
gonna be
60
20
on
million
4 players.
20 million more on the salary cap. We're going to be able to afford the players.
Lillard's going to want to like 90.
The thing about our
He
team,
earned it.
but the thing about our team is they get along and they're willing to take a little less to hang out with the guys that they like to hang out with. I think it's just going to work out fine. LaMarcus is going to get his big money. It's going to be a smaller contract than he could get in a couple years, but I think he'll be fine with it.
But you think Marcus can get that Phoenix Suns money if he wanted it?
LaMarcus can get LA money, New York money. He can get Denver Nuggets money. He can get Houston Rockets money. There's a lot of teams that would love to insert old Mr. Offense, LaMarcus Aldridge, into their
He
lineup.
can get
Of
any kind of
course.
money. He can get whatever he wants. Any team that will take
And I wish
sell
the
their
Bu-
team to sign his butt.
I wish the Bucks would quit knocking on the Blazers' door. They're just making us look bad.
The Bucks?
The Bucks, they keep asking
Well,
for
the
Wesley
Cavs,
I
Matthews.
thought you were talking about the
Cavs.
Cavs. The Cavs are trying to get Wesley Matthews.
Isn't everybody trying to get old Wesley Matthews? Well, he's an unsung hero of the NBA, also an undrafted sort of fellow that came haphazard to the Blazers he came rolling into a starting lineup his first year with the Blazers. It was an amazing deal.
Oh, it was
and
awesome
there's
for
other
him.
teams looking to cash in and show Wesley Matthews what real money is.
I think
Right
we
now,
can
the
do that.
Lakers are up 3 on the Thunder.
So,
Poor Kevin
who
Durant.
cares?
What do you think about Kevin Durant getting hurt? Is that
Didn't he
just-
roll his ankle or something?
I think he sprained it.
Yeah, he
Oh,
rolled
who
his ankles.
cares?
Yeah, that's good for us
I
because
care
they're
so
playing
little
like they're
about
playing.
Kevin Durant.
They're playing like fire cakes, whatever
They
that
are.
is. They're just going off, man. They're on fire. They're number 2 in our division. You know, they're playing like, and there's people calling them saying that there's no way they could make the playoffs.
Who?
No way. There was pundits saying that there's no way they could make the playoffs. They're already in the playoff run.
No, they're just resting starters like most of the other powerhouse teams. You know, injuries come at a really interesting time as a Blazer fan. When you watch the NBA season, you seem to see all these awesome weirdo injuries, plantar fasciitis, pulmonary issues or
respiratory.
respiratory issues. Well, whatever it might be. I wonder sometimes if organizations as a business sit the players that need the rest in the beginning of the season to start the real season.
Well, I don't really think Terry Stotts does, because you can just look at last year, and 4 of his 5 starters played every game. So obviously he's not resting players. But if you look at a coach like Popovich definitely rests his players because his players are older, and it also gives, like I was telling you on the Wednesday game, I think I told you or mentioned it to somebody, maybe it was Scotty, but that it gives his bench players more time in serious moments. Like if you look at the game on Wednesday, no, not Wednesday, but the last San Antonio game at home, he had a lot of his bench players playing big minutes in a big game against a top quality team.
Coach Tosh, you were talking to me about that, and it actually opened my eyes quite a bit. If you think about it as a coach, you really do want to give your bench quality minutes so you can not only evaluate them, but also see how they produce in a situation. C.J. McCollum looked like a scared individual tonight for the Blazers.
But this is his first game back, correct?
No, he played since he was Wednesday. He played in Wednesday's game.
So he's still fresh back.
He's fresh back. He's got 2 games in it. But getting back to what you're saying is
what I was trying to say is when you bring your bench in and play them quality minutes, you have to give the coach credit.
That's a part of the game too.
It's part of the game.
Well, it comes down to it. You give these bench guys minutes. Usually, like for the Blazers, our bench guys get minutes in blowouts when they're playing against the other team's scrubs. San Antonio got their bench guys in meaningful minutes when the game was on the line. There was no blowout. The game counted the whole time, and every minute that those guys got were quality. It wasn't like, I'm just going to go down and hug up anything on anybody. You were playing D. The guy that you were going against was playing D. You were playing D on the other end, and it was quality minutes for those guys.
No, it was a good game. That game was one of the best games I've seen in a minute. We were down 6 and 2 overtimes.
Okay, you're talking about a different game because we were talking about last week's
game.
Okay.
This game, a triple overtime thriller,
and even
right here.
Even to stretch it farther from what you guys are talking about, Memphis lost to Chicago tonight by 5.
Good.
Nice, I like that.
Let
good
Memphis
for us.
lose.
Memphis has been hotter than chicken grease at a backyard barbecue in Alabama.
Oh, we're getting out of control right now, I think.
Oh, that's what we do.
You know, the Grizzlies are scary. They got the guy, Marc Gasol, and then they got that guy, Mr. 20 and 10, Zach Randolph.
Mike Conley?
I'll still wear Mike Conley, the point guard I mistakenly think the Blazers should have drafted in that draft.
I don't think you're mistaken.
Thank God I did not.
You don't like him?
We wouldn't have Lillard, and we wouldn't be in a win over a triple overtime San Antonio Spurs game tonight without Lillard.
It was a great win.
Speaking of that triple overtime win,
we're
live at Blairally Vintage Arcade. Just finished watching a triple overtime thriller, if you will, win over the San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan's gas tank was on E since overtime started.
No, the gas light was on, and he drove the extra 15 miles, and he shouldn't have.
And he got stuck on the side of the highway. 10-point loss.
No, I love seeing the San Antonio Spurs lose. Every time I see the silver, black, and gray lose, one of my testicles gets marketably bigger. I love it.
Which one? Left?
The right.
Right one.
All right. Okay, so I got a question for you. So you guys, you two, Casey and Chad, you guys are
mean
pretty...
Dr. Wheels?
Dr. Wheels.
That's Dr. Wheels.
Dr. Wheels
I'm
and Blazer Chad. Sorry. I didn't want... I was trying to be informal. You guys are my friends, and so...
I thought it was inferred. I thought it was inferred.
Sometimes I get confused about what's going on. And so you guys are pretty with it with Blazer knowledge. And
we're hip.
So people probably come to you in your regular world where you're at and ask you questions about Blazers.
They certainly do.
Yeah. So, but they also sometimes come out and they say the craziest stuff, and you're just like, do you get sometimes? I know I do. People say kind of crazy stuff like some people might say that Clyde Drexler played with Brandon Roy.
I've heard
stuff like that.
See, I don't hang around those people.
Do you ever get it like that kind of thing?
Certainly. And I do what I do when I'm at the holidays and talking to those relatives I don't really talk to. I smile and I agree and I say, yeah, Clyde Drexler did play with Brandon Roy. And it was amazing the dimes he tossed.
Wow, you actually
see,
say
go
That's
that?
all I do. I agree
Go
it.
with it.
I like
agree.
to correct.
See, not me. I'm like, Uncle Herb, that's not what happened.
You're the
Brandon Roy
corrector.
Did not play with Clyde Drexler.
You're the corrector. The
But you
doctor
actually,
is a
if I
corrector.
remember correctly, this guy I think might have said something like, "No, you were actually saying."
I would never say something
No,
like
that was a ridiculous one. But you were in the opinion that Clyde Drexler played with Rasheed Wallace, maybe, or Sabonis.
No,
what was that?
I would never say that. I
Sabonis,
might have
maybe?
said Otis Thorpe played with Rahub Abdul-Arif or whatever we had.
Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
Yeah, maybe.
we never
said
had that guy. He played for Denver.
Who?
We had Abdul Rahim.
If
Sharif
we want
Abdul-Rahim.
to get
You mean
ticky
Bobby
tack,
Jackson or Chris Jackson?
if you want to get ticky tack, you can say that Clyde Drexler played with Sabonis in the
Against
Memorial
each other.
Coliseum,
Yes, it's true.
and they
Houston
practice-
versus Blazers.
No, they were scrimmaging. And, Sabonis was over here getting a little knee surgery done on doctors that actually can do knee surgery, not in the Soviet Union. And he was scrimmaging with the Blazers during his rehab. And that's when Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler, and three of the 5 Blazers starters went to management and said, go bribe whoever it takes to get Sabonis over here so we can play with him now against Chicago
should
and
have.
Detroit.
We don't want to talk about that because it just brings up some ill will type shit.
Whoa, Chad, calm down. We heard that.
Someone just broke the skee ball again.
Yeah, I
ball
know.
just
It's
went crazy.
somebody throwing super angry on the skee ball.
And they're always under 8 years old.
No, it's always a female under 10. You're right. The girls are just angry right at the beginning, right? At inception. When the sperm and the egg cleave, that's when the female gets angry.
And you should just answer it every time it happens. Just say, "Bitch, please. This ain't Chuck E. Cheese."
This ain't Chuck E. Cheese.
That girl's pretty good, though. She almost got 52 times in a row. But
Where's her parents at?
Well, not anywhere to be seen. Their backs are turned to their child.
I guess Blair Alley is a daycare.
Hey, don't even spread that rumor. Blair Alley is an adult establishment that allows minors till 9.
What
I
time
thought
is
it was a daycare. That's what I bring my son here for.
8:38 right now.
You bring your son because I put so many quarters in his hand, it almost should be put in a bank for his college education.
He probably could afford the amount of quarters he
Or
put
the
in that
M&Ms.
Doctor Who game.
The M&Ms he buys.
He doesn't like M&Ms. It's Mike and Ike's.
Coach Josh, let me ask you one question. And it's a very serious question.
All right, I'm ready, I think.
It's not about your prostate. It's about
It's soft.
if Tony Parker played tonight, would this game have been the same?
No way.
I don't think it
Sorry
would have
for
gone into
interrupting.
triple overtime. I think we could still pulled it out and got the win in regulation. I just don't think it would have been triple overtime.
You think we still
You
would've won?
think the Blazers would have still won in less overtimes with Tony Parker?
That's what I'm going to say. I think
That's what you're going to say.
I think our players would have stepped up a little bit more. Some of them kind of said, "Oh, Tony Parker's not
Let's
playing. We don't have
stamp
to
it
play
in
anymore."
pinky swear because Coach Josh just said basically that Tony Parker is subpar compared to his backup.
No, I think I don't think he's a great player. He's the best. He's one of the top 3 point guards in the league. I just think that the game plan that Portland would have used would have been different, so the game would have been a little bit different. And I think we got really lucky
So Corey,
by being down after 6 twice in overtime. In both the first 2 overtimes, we got lucky. And then once we got into triple overtime, I think San Antonio was gassed. They didn't have anything left. Once we got up by 6, they were done. They were done. They're old, and we got lucky.
I mean, look at this trend.
But I'll take that luckiness.
This trend of Spurs stats. You had Kyle Anderson 2 points, Boris Diaw 3 points, Austin Day 7 points, Matt Bonner 3 points. He had 1 3. Then you got Bellinelli, Ginobili, Splitter 10, 11, 14. But you got the Danny Greens, the Tim Duncans 27.
Well, they
32.
only had 2 guys that were as scorers, Danny Green and Tim Duncan, and that was it. The rest of the people were under 12 points. No one really had any points. The Blazers
What is
had
your
several
Snapper
guys.
Jones? Snapper Jones?
My Snapper Jones rule 1 is outscore the opponent. Outscore the opponent.
Who's your Snapper Jones player of the game?
Player of the game tonight? Well, score the most
Obviously,
points.
come on.
Score the
Damian
most points.
Lillard.
Damian Lillard.
43, 6, and 3.
The Snapper Jones trophy for outscore the opponent tonight goes to Damian Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers.
Can you hear this? Right here, it's money. It's money.
He's rubbing money
Coach
on the
Josh
mic.
wants
You know
some
what
money
that's
too.
going
I
to
won
sound
that
like?
money from Damian Lillard.
Is Velcro scraped on your eye.
Yeah, we don't want that. My surprise of the game is Jarrell Wright with 12 and 8.
Terrell Wright came out of nowhere.
Terrell Wright came out and started shooting like he was a lottery
But the
pick.
thing is, we've all hated on Terrell Wright all last year. We hated on him because he missed everything.
I wanted to trade him.
But this year, we really can't hate on him because he doesn't get any minutes. But the time he gets minutes tonight, what did he do? He produced.
Scored.
He
got
scored.
robbed a couple times, too. He should have had he got fouled. They called it some – it was a no call when he drove to the hoop.
Oh, yeah. He
Off
got
his leg.
slammed to the paint at the end in the second overtime, I think it was. Absolutely, he should have got a foul called right there. I don't know. I guess Terrell Wright's starting to do the kind of things that we want. Maybe I expected more from him. Maybe I got all excited when I realized he was a lottery pick and we got him for nothing. But you know what? He hits his threes.
So-
he puts his feet underneath him and he hits that point.
Well, when he hits him, it's good.
Can I put up a guess between both you guys? How many threes did we chuck up tonight?
About 35 or 36?
35 threes.
That's a lot of three-point shots.
We made 13 of them, so we shot 370.
We didn't shoot very good.
They were
No,
8 for
that's
20.
actually, as a team-wide
average.
percentage, that's decent. I would
Average
like to shoot a
is
little
what
bit
that
better.
How many
but-
rebounds? 60 and 58. That's a lot of rebounds.
But
in
we
the
played
game.
it in triple overtime.
Triple
so.
overtime, the stats are all going to be upwards of 20%.
Cattywampus.
20% inflated.
Would you
Fouls
say
were
it's
even.
cattywampus?
It's cattywampus.
Turnovers were even. Blocks were even. Steals, we had 4 more than they did.
It's a good win. This
Uh,
is a Studley Western
6 more
Conference
assists.
Championship kind of win. This is the kind of win that you get that puts you to the next level.
More importantly, this is our second win this year against the San Antonio
Oh,
Spurs.
that's great. That's awesome. That puts it because I think when it comes down to it, the way San Antonio's playing, they're not on fire like they've always been. But we're gonna be with them. I think in the standings, they're gonna be right by us. As long as we can get those wins against them, it's gonna work out for tiebreakers
They're
in the
going to
future.
be up there.
Get your wins against OKC. Get your wins against Denver because those are important wins.
Speaking of OKC, this is the thing I was thinking about. They're healthy now, are they not?
They're getting
They're
healthy.
not. Durant just sprained his ankle.
He's just sprained his ankle. He's gonna be out for a little bit, but they're gonna get healthy.
He just
soon.
got back.
He's going to get the blood platelet plasma
Michael
therapy.
Jackson shit?
They're
Yeah.
gonna get the
He's going to go to
Dracula.
France and do all that.
But we've only played Oklahoma City once, and that was when they're injured. I think with the next couple times we're going to play them, they're going to be full strength, and that's going to be tough games.
Westbrook
tough
is
game.
an animal, dude.
That
I have
guy's
more,
crazy.
I have more respect for him over Durant, over all those guys. He's the most. When he gets angry, most players get all frustrated and throw the ball around like it's hog shit. That guy will put up 20 more. When he gets pissed, he ain't missing. He's driving every time.
You know, when I start thinking about the way I think things should have gone for the Blazers, and I think about that Odin draft where we selected Odin over Durant, there's nothing you have to take away from the Blazers. You can insert Durant into our lineup right now. If you think about it,
Yeah.
we don't lose anything. For
Batum.
instance,
Batum.
Are you saying Batum's nothing?
no, I'm not saying
I really
Batum's
can't talk
nothing.
to you right now, Chad.
I'm not
'cause
saying Batum's nothing, but I'm saying you really don't lose a ton. You still have Batum, even if you drafted Durant. Why?
he wouldn't
Why?
make
Why
her-
wouldn't you have Batum?
He wouldn't make her
we
break
already had
us.
him already, so we would have him.
Yeah,
but
we would've
I don't
already
think
had
he wouldn't have developed. Where is he going to get his minutes? There's
Let
no-
me have my fantasy.
I don't like it. I just want to erase your fantasy. It's not that good because Batum,
I'm tired
he's
of-
my favorite
I'm
player.
tired
You don't want to
talking
talk
what
about
ifs.
Durant as a Blazer.
No,
Hell no.
not really, because as I was all in for. Oh, I know that he got hurt and he was a bust. But if he wasn't, can you imagine what we would have had? Why not take that chance? We're obviously doing
It's a
okay
dynasty at that
Oh
point.
yeah,
But who knows where the cards would have fell? Would we have gotten Dame? Would we try to get a big man? in?
Exactly.
Who
Would we
knows?
have gotten Dame
Who knows?
if any of those things would have worked out?
Everything happens for a reason.
it does.
Like if I didn't go to the bar that night, would I have had herpes?
You sound
Nobody-
like a Christian right now.
Everything happens for a reason. By the way, I don't have herpes.
that you know of.
But it's same with the Barkley and the Jordan shit, like or Elijah won. Like who knows who could have, whatever. Who won a championship? We got a gold bar in the back of our jersey.
That's true.
It
Yeah,
looks better
yeah.
than fucking whoever doesn't.
It looks better than the Bucks out there with the
Kings.
Greek Freak doing nothing.
Minnesota,
Actually, the Bucks probably have a ring, right?
Orlando,
They had Wilt
Oh,
Still.
actually, you're right. The Bucks have a ring. They got it with Oscar Robinson and
Wilt
old
Still.
Lou
Kareem
Alcindor.
Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor.
Yeah,
Wilt
Lou
is
Alcindor,
still.
sorry.
Come on, buddy.
Wilt.
That's why I'm not a play-by-play analyst.
No, I should remember that. Old Oscar Robinson and Lou Alcindor. That was an amazing team. I feel like the best 1-2 punch that the NBA's ever seen. Number 2 would be what? Jordan Pippen?
I think that actually Oscar Robertson and Lou Alcindor blow Jordan Pippen out of the water.
Oh, it does. They're number one. I mean, Lou Alcindor and Oscar Robinson.
Who was the Robertson that played for the Bucks like in the 90s?
Oscar Robinson.
The guy that we're talking about right now.
No, the guy that played in the 90s.
Oh,
Robertson.
What was his name?
I don't know who we're talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
He was an all-star.
Robinson, yeah. What about him?
I want to say him and Glenn Robinson were the best 1-2 punch ever.
I don't even. What the hell are you talking about?
In Bucks legacy.
So you're saying
In
that
Bucks
Lou
lore.
Alcindor?
Oh, we're not talking Bucks no more. Okay. Sorry.
No, that was good. I
Robertson.
like that.
All right. So we're
Alvin,
talking old
Alvin
school
Robertson.
stuff here. And
Alvin
Robertson.
He played with Ricky Pearson.
He didn't play with Glenn Robinson?
No, he didn't play with Glenn Robinson. Ray Allen played with Glenn Robinson.
I remember that.
But we're talking old school, and I'm noticing, you can't see people on they're listening to us. You really can't see, but I'm noticing that Chad's got a pretty nice little Blazer jersey that he just got brand new, never worn,
never washed,
never worn. It's a brand new.
Capital
It's a
Blazers.
99 2000 strike shortened season Scottie Pippen champion size 44 jersey.
Look at pretty.
No, it's super pretty. And that's that strike shortened season where we should have won the championship. We
That's
should
when
have won that championship.
That's when we're going to go against. We went in San Antonio in that damn Sean Elliott
Memorial Day miracle.
tippy toe madness, getting up on his tippy toes so he doesn't hit the 3-point line. And
Can we all just agree that it happened?
Well, here we are on the amazing win against the San Antonio Spurs, and here we are still wounded by that Memorial Day miracle. That dagger stuck in my craw for so long. Rashid played amazing defense on that shot.
If Rashid never cut his fingernails, he would have blocked that shot.
That was one of the darkest days as I can remember as a Blazer fan.
It was a kidney stone.
It's not the darkest day.
Well, the 92 loss
Next
against
year.
the Bulls, that was pretty
That's
dark.
not dark.
I quit
But
wearing
that's the
Nikes
Bulls.
for 8 years, dude. I
That's
quit wearing
fine.
Nikes for 8 years.
That's fine.
I went for 10 to 8 in one sentence. Guess what? Chad's wearing Nike. Oh, no, Chad's wearing an Asics right now.
Asics Onitsuka.
Josh, what are you wearing?
I got Nikes on right now.
I got Nikes on right now. We're still.
See, you guys
support.
subscribe to that Michael Jordan era that snatched my title from my heart.
I never wore a Jordan shoe in my life.
So
Good.
Did you stop wearing Asics because wasn't it Isaiah Thomas wore Asics?
I have
gels?
no clue.
I have no idea.
He wore Asic gels.
Just keep
I
on
can give
talking,
Isaiah
Casey.
Thomas a lot of credit. You know, that guy went out in the playoffs in 1990 and stole that championship away from the Blazers. The Blazers deserved that one, too. They were a great team.
For the bad boys.
I don't
Isaiah.
give Isaiah no credit. That guy's a little punk ass
He is
little
a punk.
bitch.
And he's a cheater and he's a dirty
yeah,
player.
He's a
But-
dirty.
But
He's pretty.
he got it.
I hate it though.
They had Vinnie Johnson. They had Bill
I don't care who
had
they
Rick
had.
Mahorn.
A bunch
They had
of
squad.
chumps.
But we had a squad.
We had the better
That was
squad.
a squad.
We just got
Now,
punked.
just to
by
be
a bunch of punks.
Just to be like, hold my balls in my left hand. What could we add to our squad now to get that feeling back?
As a player,
how many ingredients
What do we need?
are we
What
missing
you're
right
saying-
now? Can we get to that 92 Blazer squad?
well, we're missing a two guard like
Wesley?
Clyde Drexler.
Well, he was our star, but I think Dame took over that role.
Well, Dame and Terry Porter have the same offensive kind of capabilities. If you really look at it,
Except
go
for
back
the
and look at
dunking.
Terry
Terry
Porter's
wasn't a
record.
dunker.
Terry Porter was a three-point
No,
shooter
Terry
passer.
Porter wasn't going to dunk the ball. No, I'm not saying Wisconsin Stevens Point
But
didn't
they
dunk
were.
the ball.
But you're right. They were both able to get to the hoop and shoot the three. 'Cause
Hell
Terry
yeah.
Porter was a 3-point.
Three-point shooter,
Artist.
and he filled the bucket up.
And
if
I-
he had the chance.
I heard Terry Porter was a butterfly knife expert too.
You
Side
did
note,
not hear
side
that.
note,
No,
you
but
did
when-
not hear that.
Here's a good one. No, when he was at Wisconsin Green Bay for college,
Wisconsin Stevens Point.
he was a power forward.
Yes, he was.
Really?
That's a
He
true
was a
story.
power
Power forward.
6'3" power forward at Wisconsin
I bet they
Stevens Point.
sucked.
They had to if they had a
Obviously
6'3"
they
power
were-
forward.
No, obviously
Small
they
school?
weren't, because if they sucked, Terry Porter would not have got drafted.
Terry Porter was one of those guys that everybody missed on, except for the Blazers scouting department, which in the 90s was probably the premier scouting facility in all of the NBA. They picked up Drazen. They were able to finagle a lot of great players.
Draft Sabonis.
Draft Sabonis. They were able to secure Buck Williams, probably one of the greatest trades
That's
in
not a
Blazer
draft,
history.
but Cliff Robinson,
Clifford Robinson, second round diamond.
Mark Bryant.
Second round diamonds, and that was the 90s for the Blazers, picking up guys that had been passed on, kind of like guys like from Weber State in Nowheresville, nowhere, that played 4 years, like Damian Lillard. So give props to the scouting department of the Blazers. We're doing all right.
I agree.
We definitely are. And I think our future is looking bright. I was just earlier down at the bar during the game. I was talking to a San Antonio fan, I think it was, and I was talking about our future contracts that we have up with a couple of players that we just got. They play on the second unit, and their contracts are pretty interesting in the versatility of their contracts.
Game.
With Chris Kaman, we have him for a team option for only $1 million next year.
We can catch him for $1 million next year.
Before we stray away too much, can I just go back to Terry for 1 minute? Sure. Terry Porter. Where did Terry grow up?
Probably in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. He's from Milwaukee. So he probably wasn't that good of a high school player. He stuck around town, went to a small college, played power forward. He was the 24th overall pick to your Portland Trailblazers in 1985. That was the same year we got Clyde, correct? Or no, Jerome.
Clyde was 84?
84, yeah.
84.
So Jerome, we picked Porter over Jerome.
Oh, yeah. You take a point guard over Jerome. Jerome came from an even more forgettable college, Long Beach State. You know, he came from nowhere.
And one of the most underrated awards that Terry won as a professional athlete was the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award.
Oh, that's not underrated. Chris Dudley won that 2 years in a row, did he not? That's a Portland Trailblazers actually catch the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award more than most other teams. Chris Dudley, for his diabetes research, no, he didn't research it, I'm sorry, for his diabetes gifts that he gave to diabetes
donations to research.
That guy won the J. Walter Kennedy Award twice.
That's prestigious award.
Huge award.
I want to say underrated because people want the MVP and then the most assist award or the whatever, the blah 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 award.
No, I like that. Thank goodness Terry Porter won it, huh?
TP did.
Well, I didn't know that. All I knew was Chris Dudley won that award a couple of times. I didn't know TP won it.
So TP is not only been a Blazer, but he was a Blazer commentator.
I just had a little flash in my head. What if Rasheed Wallace won the J. Walter Kennedy Award? Can you imagine what he said? Both teams played hard. Just drop the mic.
Both natural diseases played hard. Yeah, Rasheed didn't win nothing except maybe an All-Star.
Hey, he had the coat drive. Rasheed did a lot for community. He also, in Detroit, Portland, he would do his Rasheed Wallace annual coat drives. I don't want to give Rasheed any bad press. He did a lot of good.
Well, most of those guys, I don't want to say forced, but they're directed to do a lot of charity work.
It's a contract that they have with their team. They have to do X amount
which is
of
great.
charitable work.
Which is you can't argue with it.
No, it's a good thing.
But I just don't want to put, you go to a cancer hospital and shake some hands with kids.
Dude, when you're paying 40% in
No,
taxation,
I get it.
Want
I just don't want you like, oh, I'm so hungover, I have to go fucking shake cancer kids' hands.
Just no dying kids.
I don't want
that. Don't give me the cancer
I want
kids.
Genuine, go to the hospital, cry with them.
Oh, you want that?
Autograph their cast.
You want them to
catheters.
do that?
I want
you
that.
want them to autograph the catheter. I like that.
I want genuine support for that. I love it. NFL does it too. NBA does it. Probably Major League Baseball does the same thing. They do charity work. They build homes. They coat drives and stuff.
The Portland Trailblazers pour millions into charitable organizations
Why not?
in the Portland
You
area.
get
well,
it.
they do. They make millions. They need to spend millions.
Yeah.
It's just a matter
It
of
helps
business.
people out.
And each player making millions, of course, they need a tax write-off. The NBA is only helping them by saying, hey, dude, you have to do this. You have
it'll
to
help you in the
participate.
long run.
You have to participate.
And those kids, everybody was a winner. I'm not saying it's not, but I just like the genuine. I want genuine. I want the Dame Lillard Foundation. I don't want the NBA cares. They cares to get a tax
Come on,
break.
Coach Josh, talk about gratuity. I've seen you throw an unlit, half of a joint unlit to a bum once. I saw you throw the joint to a
Don't
bum.
throw nothing to bums. Bums don't deserve anything out of my pockets or anything. I'm not going to give no shrapnel to no bums.
Let me just enlighten the listeners. Coach Josh doesn't believe in homelessness or gratuity to the homeless.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Well, especially the bums in my town where we live is these bums. I see them.
Where
they
do
just
we live,
want,
Coach Josh?
I don't care where I live. I don't care. But this
Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene, Oregon, right here. Rip City South. But
Rip City South.
the Bubs in my neighborhood, they all. Okay, kids
Miners
got to
gotta
get
go.
out. Kids got to
Miners
get
gotta
out of
go.
here
Well,
now.
kids
It's 9
got to
o'clock.
get out, and we have to wrap it up because we have an 80s night going on at 9 o'clock.
Uh-oh.
We'll take that as us wrapping it up.
Okay,
we missed the Beard tonight. The Beard had to cut out. We might not have heard his voice because he wasn't here. Thank you, Keith.
No, great game. Triple overtime
Oh,
win.
is
The
it-
Portland Trailblazers defeat the championship San Antonio Spurs right here at Blair Alley, live with House of Blazers. I did it here with me, Blazer Chad, and you, Coach Josh, and my best friend.
Dr. Wheels.
All I got, yeah.
Coach
thank
Josh,
you.
you got one more thing to
I got one
leave
more
with?
thing. I think this win tonight was on fire. It's a great win. It's one of those going to bring more glory to our team. It's one of those wins you can look back and say, we
Stuck it
came
out.
back from being down 6 twice in overtime. And
Terry
what-
Stotts. Terry Stotts deserves a lot of credit.
Dame
Let's
Lillard.
just give him the all-star coaching for the Western
He was the
Conference
better
right
coach
now.
of
I would
the
think
game.
that would be good, but we don't have the
Terry
record for it.
Stotts. Terry Stotts needs that all-star.
Coach of the year.
Coach of the year.
Coach of the year.
Signing
Coach of
over
the
right
year.
now. One Rip City before we go. 1, 2, 3.
Rip City!